person.
Dry ass shit.
One person called me. I called her back too.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Hold on, boo.
I know. Yeah, I just want to ask y'all a question.
www.lovethenumberjamradio.com. It's your girl, Miss Lovey, queen of all things indie. And today is a very special day. I got a very special friend in the building by the name of Mr. Blackwood, aka Bio Africa, is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, and today I got comedian Realist in the building. My homegirl KK. I got
Press
my boy
that button
Trust.
again.
It's not the same when he tell me to do it. I was going to give one for everybody, but okay.
Hey, I felt it.
Okay, as long as you felt it. I got my boy Franchise Music in the building, y'all. My Ace Boom Cool. So we were going a little deeper today, talking about us as a people and what we can do, and chopping it up with Bio Africa. So we'll pick up where we left off and kind of get into everyone's anxious to try what you brought. So maybe we can shift to that mode real quick.
Okay, so let me tell you what it is first, if you don't mind. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, that's what I was asking you to do.
I've been working on that. Well, I've worked on that. I used to cut people off. Now I don't do that no more.
It's hard.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's not.
I got there though.
It's hard for me because I be like knowing what a motherfucker finna say, and I be like, hurry that shit up.
That's why I be changing my sentences at the end.
Because once you're around somebody, it's like you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
And being around Big Bro all the time in Lost Life, give you a lot of game, man. Like you said, you gotta respect the individuality.
True.
So that's why I let that motherfucker speak.
Right.
You know. But what we gonna try today is the full body cleanser.
Okay. Can you lift the jar up and kind of?
This is just what I stored in. This is.
Just so they can see it.
Okay.
It's right here, bro.
Oh.
Nah, it's over there. It's that one. You don't have this
I'm
one.
tired of y'all.
It's right here.
I'm tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all, man.
It's multiple. Okay. So.
It's a full body cleanser.
Full body cleanser. We'll
So-
say FBC.
Yeah, that's why I put on it. But
Hey.
it ain't on here today.
Okay.
So what it does is a liver cleanser, a stomach cleanser, intestinal cleanser, intracellular cleanser, brain and nerve support, and it balances out the testosterone and the estrogen depending on who takes it. You know.
I'll fuck around and want to go to work tomorrow if I drink this.
Right.
What you got in this thing?
Man, let's see. We got some bladderwrack. We got some
Word, I just bought some of that for my mama.
some sarsaparilla, which is got the most iron content out of everything in the world. That's also what they make root beer out of. It's got the Casagara sagrada, which is a strong plant. It helps diabetes, inflammation. You can get rid of diabetes messing with the Casagara. It's real bitter, and it also goes inside your intestines like a toothpick. It picks out all the old fecal matter and stuff like that in you. So that's why it's good to, like when Dr. Sebi, that's what I've learned. When he used to have you down in Honduras, he'll give you these in the morning, the bitters, and you eat raw food because you want to be able to clean your body. And once you start cleaning your body and have it with this shit right here, you'll start, like when it's time for the bad stuff to come out, like that shit is black. I'm talking about the shit is black.
Right, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's scary. It's
Shit is
scary.
black.
Like that's when you shit out black, that means your body clean. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta start from your stomach and your colon.
Right.
And what else is in here? So then you got the immune booster, and this is great for men. It's a decalcifier. A lot of men take Viagra, Cialis, and stuff like that.
It builds calcium in there.
And there you go. So now this right here is gonna go in there
Break it down.
like a drill and break it down, and you're gonna piss all that out.
Yeah.
Ooh, does it come out
That's what
painful chunks?
That's what
No, it's not gonna do it. It's gonna break it down because it's alkaline. Like the iron.
Oh,
from,
painful chalk.
Right.
I did that for
Like a gallstone.
You talking about
You should saw
pee?
Boris's face when I said that.
No, it's
What?
gonna, but your pee will be darker. Excuse me, y'all. It will be darker because, like you said, the calcification and it's dried up blood. This in it, it's a lot of inflammation, a lot of infection. So yeah, your pee gonna be like that. If you own it like you're supposed to, the first week you're gonna have a conscious sleep, to where you're gonna think you sleep, but you're not. I mean, no, you're gonna think you
Awake.
not awake,
Right.
but you're gonna be asleep.
Right.
But you can hear everything. And then when you wake up, you're gonna be like, damn, I feel like I ain't go to sleep, but I'm well rested.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you have this by the jar.
Men.
I mean, not by the jar, but by the. What's the dosage for it? Basically, is what I'm asking.
I say do 8 ounces 3 times a day.
8 ounces, so it's 24 ounces a day, and the container is.
It just depends on which one you buy. I mean, cause
Okay.
I got different sizes. I do them. I put them in these, and I also put them in the 16 ounce.
Mm-hmm.
Cause some people, I like them for them to try it. You know.
Right before they commit to
Before they
full
commit
24.
to it. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Because they may be like me, like it's hard to take. I said there I gotta coach myself, or I make the capsules. That's what I do. Cause
Okay.
I don't really eat, so it's gonna go through anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want you to have the capsule because everything in the herb you need.
Okay.
This is just the extract.
Okay. So did y'all try it yet?
Not yet.
Nuh-uh.
I'm gonna tell you now, men. That's why I was telling men it's gonna make you want to have sex, and you're gonna beat some up.
Oh man,
But Trust already started sipping. Trust
I
already.
was speaking for KK. Oh man.
What does it taste like? Did you drink it yet?
Not yet.
Come
I
on
thought
now.
we was gonna do like a
Everybody
toast
already
or
did
something.
theirs.
You heard that? Go in somebody's house and
It tastes like a It tastes like you're drinking tea, but without the liquid. Like it's just you eating the
Bro, I ain't gonna lie.
Tastes earthy.
Tea
It
bag.
tastes-
bad.
Yeah, it tastes
I
like.
ate the tea bag.
That's what it tastes like.
Hey,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
Yeah.
Y'all did it the best out of everybody I know.
Oh, I be on some Fear Factor shit, so I can.
Okay. Oh, so I can drop you off shit.
Yeah.
You be like, yeah.
Yeah.
You like my homeboy
Yeah.
Garrett. That motherfucker
Yeah.
be turning that shit up. I be like, bro, 8 ounces. He just down the whole thing, the whole
Yeah.
24 at one time.
Yeah, I can do that. That's
So
nice.
you do that and then watch. Like Kalani, when he had it, he was like, damn, now I feel like I need to work. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He was
that's nice right there. I can do that.
Okay, that's good.
So we
what's the
have
cost?
you have this. It's called BC. What was it?
That like the 16 ounce of that is 25. But like I tell people all the time, it ain't really about the bread, you know. I'm like Mr. Wilson from in the 70s.
Mr. Wilson.
When your mama will send you to the store with a list
Mm-hmm.
and she say, hey, get this here and I'm gonna pay you Friday, and then I give you all what you need and then you pay what you can. Because it's not about the bread like that. It's about the healing of our people, getting our people home what they need to be home.
Another thing too, like you probably like if you say you drinking and you don't really eat much, like you
Right.
probably saving money on food.
Oh,
and-
bro,
and
if you go in our
so
refrigerator-
$25 ain't
And if you go in my refrigerator, bro, everything in there is dedicated to my products.
Mhm.
Cause I don't want to eat. I mean, I might nibble something every now and then,
Mhm.
but I want to keep going through
So
what I'm going
your
through.
relationship with food just completely
Man,
changed, basically.
yeah, because the things that I like, I know are bad for me, and I can't have them.
All of it.
What about the I want to say the unity that goes with, like, when I think of eating, you know what I'm saying? And like even when I talk to my grandma, you know what I'm saying, it's very
Shout out to
family
her.
orientated. That's the one where everybody kind of sits down together. That's like we cook, like it's such a family thing, and
That
it's
is.
like,
I
you
can still
know,
participate.
no, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying like it's hard to get everybody on board because it has now shifted from being eating to live to something that's part of the culture or
It's a
something that's a
living
part
to
of the
eat.
Comfort level.
It is, or is he familiarity, or like my grandma, you know, to her this is, you know what I mean? She's taught me everything about cooking, like, you know.
Oh, we
Right.
still gonna eat on that day.
You know how Umi be.
I drink that all year, but
Yeah.
when Umi throw down, I'm gonna eat. Like, I'll take a couple steps back for Umi. Like,
It's on Thursday.
I'm gonna get back right. I'm gonna get back right. I know I'm gonna get back right. It's just, hey.
That's important that you said that, right? Because I tell a lot of people when they want to jump on this journey, and they like, man, I like the way your energy is. I like the way you do this. I like the way you do that. And I say, you know, it took me 10 years to get here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do this overnight. You know, I cut out beef, I cut out pork, just gradually start doing it. And I got to where I am, you know. You got to be patient with yourself is what I was going through.
And forgiving.
And forgiving with yourself. So let's just say, when I was going through this here, it got to, I love chicken. You know what I'm saying?
We were talking about the chicken struggle.
I know a lot of people like that.
I'm talking about tear chicken ass up. You
Right.
know, the
Chicken
back,
bloods.
the chicken back, all that. So I ain't never had fried chicken. I had chicken back one time and I fell in love with it. I was like, ain't it? My auntie, the one I was talking about earlier,
Right.
she cooked chicken. She cooked the whole chicken. She
Right.
fried that back up. I thought it was breast. I thought, you're a little kid. You want the big piece? Shit, I grabbed a big piece. Fucking chicken back.
Hey, I got a funny chicken story too,
Oh,
since
Lord.
he brought it up.
Is it a chicken back
and
story?
KK probably ain't gonna even remember this. Well, she probably will. We was on our way to church for vacation Bible school one day, and we went to Churches to get some chicken on the way there.
Why?
They didn't even have no chicken, so they was asking us, do we just want fries? And we like, well, why y'all
need
even
to close this
open?
hole
Y'all ain't got
with
nothing.
people.
And then we asked for change, and they was like, nah, we can't get change.
They ain't got change. All they got is fries.
All they got is fries. Like, why y'all open? We stopped to get chicken.
That's
Yep.
not what the
shit
Lord would
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
That was a blessing. So you know
Right.
that.
And then you a fucking favorite.
Not in
Right.
that moment.
But you know, okay, so look, this is important too. Another reason why we are the way we are is because, like, say, fried chicken. Your body, when you eat fried chicken, you trying to digest the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to digest the
Skin.
the skin. Like, talking about this shit make me sick now.
Don't do
And
that.
all
'Cause
the
I like
stuff they
fried
put in
chicken.
it.
No,
Don't you do
no,
that.
we ain't gonna go there yet. We can go there in a minute.
They got herbs and spices in them chicken.
Right, but then so it's got the batter.
72 of them.
Right.
So it's got the batter, right?
Right.
And it's got
Skin.
the oil. But no, I'm talking about what's coated on the skin.
Okay.
And then you got the oil that's fried in. Now your body, when you eat that piece of chicken, your body is trying to digest each one of those things individually. That's why you see in other cultures, they'll eat the rice 1st, then they'll eat the green beans, and they eat everything separately because you don't want to confuse your body. And that's what we don't do here.
My body's
Absolutely
so
not.
confused.
Right.
I just scoop
I
up
like
everything
to-
on one spoon when I eat.
Right. And that's the improper way.
Yeah.
Oh,
How not to eat,
I
of
know.
course.
Right. And then, like, once you start learning where this stuff comes from, like the chicken was made. It was created.
Yeah.
God didn't make that.
It's a
Yes.
That's
genetically
why
modified.
I pray over my food.
That's dead.
But see, that the reason you're supposed to pray is for the you're praying for thanks.
I'm thinking, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For the people that prepared. You know what I'm saying? Not to protect you from whatever it
Oh, I
may
pray for that
cause.
too.
But I'm just saying, that's where prayer came
Yeah,
from.
yeah. I do it all.
The cow, that's a man-made thing. You know, if you look at the cow in Africa, he got a hump on his back, right just below his neck, and that's where water's stored. You know, and back then when our ancestors was alive, they used those animals just for work. They loved those animals like children.
Mm-hmm.
We eating them. When our biological disposition doesn't allow us to do that.
Mm.
The pig was brought over here by the Viking.
Mm-hmm.
It was created.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so why are we? If we know this, if we know these things, why do you continue to put this in your body? If you wouldn't put fucking water in your gas tank,
Because it take work.
it does. But it's mental. The mind over matter. This is another.
But, you know, you don't even have no mind. Everybody in captivity. Everybody's mentally, like, shut down. You know what I'm saying?
Can you
And
touch on that? What do you mean by that?
I just mean, like, everybody went, it's touchy, but I'm going to do it.
Do it. 'Cause I wanna understand.
Son, everybody went down to the situation, right? About the homie passing. God bless his dead, right? About what the cop did to the homie, right?
Rest in peace, George Floyd.
Yeah.
Word. And to the family and everything,
Mhm.
right?
Black people, period.
Black people, period, right? So there's a mental thing. Everybody moved on him because of whatever reason. We go to every ghetto in Houston, it's monuments of niggas getting killed by the police. Ain't nobody marched for them. Ain't nobody did nothing for them. You feel what I'm saying? The same week, a homie that was a gospel singer got killed. Nobody say nothing about him. That happened in the same week. That happened right after George Floyd got killed. You feel what I'm saying? So that just showed me that it's like sheep being led somewhere and it's not in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Like the the people like, look how many people walking. I'm saying, it's the people believe in the system.
Right.
Yeah.
They want to believe in the system. They
They
want to
do.
go to the grocery store. They want to go to shopping. They want to drive the cars. They want to do that. They want to, like, it's more than just like
But do you think it's
like they know it's unhealthy. They
Like-
know
Do
it's
they?
not. So,
But that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
D-Rule,
son.
D-Rule gave me a
yeah,
phrase.
so when you look in the grocery store, Paul,
No, I'm sorry.
when
I'm
you
sorry.
look in the grocery store, my nigga, every box in the store say natural. I mean, artificially made. Everybody knows that they're eating fake food. It's the fact that do you care?
I don't even think it's about do
Yeah.
you care
Like,
more
yeah.
than is it not safe. And I
It's
trust
not safe.
this
Nah, it's
system.
not.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
like,
that's what
this is
I'm saying.
people's mentality. I trust
trust-
this system in place, so if it wasn't
Yeah.
safe, then they wouldn't allow
Exactly.
it to be served to me and have this
Exactly.
whole 5 shelves
They
full of
love
it.
that.
This is the
Yeah,
you
the
know what we
mindset.
rationalize
Yeah.
these
Love that.
things from.
That's fact.
Niggas
then-
marched. The whole civil rights system was niggas marching to be able to do this.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what fucked us
They're
up.
not
Right,
not
bro.
fighting to not want to do it. Niggas lost their whole
We earned
lives to be
this.
able to go to the grocery store.
Yep.
Yeah. And that
And
fucked up
shot.
our community. Yeah.
And
You know what I mean? So it's like, nigga, it's a whole, like how you said when you was like, my grandmother's tied the cooking thing and had to do it on Sunday. Well, she's tied to it because it happened in the slaveries. That's
Yeah.
that's where it came from.
Yeah.
The fact that that's the only day niggas could get
They
together
didn't bring
and,
our
and,
food with
and,
us.
and scraps. You feel what I'm
They
saying?
didn't bring the
Everybody
food
put
with
their
us.
scraps together and whatever measure level, whatever, and niggas ate, and that was the most joyful time that we had out of the whole week. You feel what I'm saying? We got our God that day, we got our food that day. You know what I'm saying? And we got to somewhat relax that day. You know what I mean? From the regular monotony of the week. But that situation was took from the physical and put on the mental. You can't see the mental.
Right.
That shit is like, that's our, man, that shit is
Like D-Rule, that's why it fall right here. You could have said that perfectly. The domestication of a human.
Mhm.
Straight up.
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Matter of not even the human, but if you read like the Willie Lynch letters, like that shit gives me chills. And I read it and seen it so many times, but every time I fucking see it, it gives me chills because it's like white people, you know, sat around and came up with these art, like had us down to a T. And you can see the result of everything they did down to the demasculization of man to the breaking up of the black structure of the family. It's like outlined in these, and this is how many years ago? You know what I'm saying? And we can see the effects of it, but people still don't acknowledge. You know what I mean?
They don't.
I think it's because they don't know who they are.
Right.
Like,
We don't know
like
who we
the story of that happening right there, that's in the scriptures. That's Deuteronomy. You feel what I'm saying? But because we don't even, like, there was a gun held to us and told, nigga, you better not read that book. If we catch you reading that book, I'm gonna kill you, nigga.
Right.
It wasn't because of Dr. Seuss or Dan Brown or, you know what I'm saying, niggas was reading bestsellers. Like, nah, it was the scriptures.
Said bestsellers.
And niggas got killed, and the reason niggas didn't want to tap in is because our everything is in there. Our diet is in there. That's what Dr. Sabi got his whole situation from. He said the diet is in the scripture. That's why he read the Bible, because the Bible is the only book on the earth that give you diet. If the
They
Most
was
High
still-
was to give creator, if he was to give creation and give word to his creation and instruction and law and what we supposed to do, diet would definitely be in there. And the Bible is the only book. The only book. Nothing gives diet. Not the Quran, not the nothing. Not the nothing. Only the scripture.
You don't think that okay, so you know I got mixed feelings, not necessarily mixed feelings about the Bible, but I understand and recognize, you know, the parables within, as I say, and I understand the parallel that you can draw between history and what's in there, but at the end of the day, it's still man-made and
Right.
man-written. So that's always like a thought.
But it's not though. I mean,
What you mean?
It's
Yeah.
I'm saying,
inspired.
listen.
Literally.
What I'm saying is that I'm saying that what you can't take away from is the prophecies. That's all.
I don't want to take away from it at all.
No, but what I'm saying is that the prophets is the thing that you gotta look at. The prophets is the one that spoke exactly the same the whole way through. The whole way through from the beginning. But we don't even have to get on that. I just wanted to speak on that, just the diet.
Yeah.
The diet, if you stick to the diet of the scriptures, you don't have to be no vegan, you don't have to be no this, you don't have to be no that, you don't have to be
But
no
you do.
title, you don't have to be no,
Give me no title. No title.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I don't
no
mean
title.
you don't have to not eat meat.
Right.
I'm saying,
You're right.
you know
No
what
title.
I mean,
I think that the fact
title-
that the diet is in it, it just reminds me how humanized it is and how man-made it is, because the times reflected the diet of those times versus the evolution. I'm saying that what it was talking about during those times, because that's what was there. Say somebody decided to write a Bible tomorrow and they were like, we're gonna put all these stories together, we're gonna take from the old Bible, we're gonna take from the Quran, we're gonna take from everything that we like, that we can utilize. Say they did it again, but 2020 version. You know what I'm saying? So if we were to include diet, just by going by what we've been taught in the 3 food groups and the fucking triangle and the dancing popcorn and all that shit, this is, hundreds of millions of people who live this truth.
That's over here though.
I just mean for the necessary. I just mean for the nigga of the earth. You know what I'm saying? For the Negro of the earth, he had a diet. He had a God. He had a way of life. He had a civil law. He had a dietary law.
But we didn't have religion though.
And
But
that's
you said-
my point. It's not
you
going to
said-
be written in a book.
Right.
Everything
We
you're
didn't
saying
have
is
religion.
accurate.
Nah, but listen, if the Most High knew we would be in captivity in Babylon and no English, why wouldn't we have it in a book?
Yeah.
If he knew we was sleeping, we had to wake up. Why wouldn't we have it in a book?
Yeah.
We don't know how to. Don't nobody know how to tap in. Like everybody want to learn how to tap in,
But
You
but
can
don't
forget about
nobody
it.
know how to
You're not
tap
born.
in.
You're not born. Well,
With the-
wait a
with-
minute
I'm-
though.
what I'm
because
saying is,
the
I-
Dogon tribe. Y'all heard of them?
Yeah, but I mean,
Okay, so
we
they
in
be-
Houston, Texas. We in
Right.
Babylon, son. Don't know about. I'm talking about the regular nigga off of
yeah.
Gulf Bank.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
you can't pick and
that
choose
nigga-
what pieces you want to be for the 21st century and the
What do you-
pieces
what do you
from
mean?
those times. Like, you can't say the nigga from Gulf Bank and then not be.
No, he
I
is the
acknowledge the fact that I want you to acknowledge
mean?
that okay, like the way you explain it is almost like time is linear to you. Like you know what I'm saying? It's one track from
Oh,
biblical
yeah.
times to these times,
Yeah,
right?
'cause-
Like
Why
I
not?
don't
We God
believe.
is linear to him.
That's because the
I
whole
don't believe that though.
Yeah,
I mean, I
because
don't
you haven't-
believe that.
because you haven't been shown. You haven't been shown that.
Or
that
have
the
I been
nigga-
shown?
Okay.
Love, you
haven't.
can
I
forget
know
about
you haven't
every book
because
in the world, but
if
you'll
you
never
did-
forget about the Bible.
It ain't about forgetting. I'm talking about
saying
time.
is, what I'm saying is
Itself
that
as it exists.
But time don't even.
It's
the
certain.
way
Exactly.
the way I'm able to go with the parallels because it's the same person. The same person that was given that law, and he wasn't given that law as God saying, "Yo, you got to do this." He was pulled out of the system. The system that was on the earth was Egypt, was Kemet. That was the only law. That's what it was. They were pulled out of that
Right.
and given their own everything to govern their life. They
Now,
they didn't
I
need
just wanna know
anything.
who you mean? Who was given?
Talking about the people.
I'm talking about the script, us. I'm talking about when you go through the slave trade and you look at
The
all the
transatlantic
receipts.
trade, mhm.
Yeah, and you look at all the receipts and all of them say Negro. Yeah, and then you look at where they were sent, and they were sent to everywhere that's not necessarily a Negro. You know, the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, the Haitians. Yeah, when you look at all that,
Islands.
you see that the Negro of the earth is everybody.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. So, but these people are specific because there's
You talking about
outside of.
But
the
you
people
talking
in
about
Kemet.
some. You're
I'm saying-
predating. That's
Which
what I'm
people?
saying.
Which
Nah,
people?
man, what I'm
He-
saying is what.
Because you're saying like time is
But I
linear.
want.
That's
I
what
want
I'm
to get
saying.
it. I want to understand because you.
Okay, this is what I'm.
He's looking from a perspective of time being linear from the time of slavery being the maybe like the
breaking point, the division.
the
What you
part
mean?
from there, because there's a part like I was telling you earlier. There's stuff that predates the biblical parables.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, but
if you,
what predates? What pre?
There was-
hold
remember
on.
we
I
talked about this.
saw
Hold
in
on.
Haru.
Hold
That
on.
predates.
Yeah, but
the
that
Bible.
don't no, it don't. That hold on. That
They
hold
took
on,
that.
hold on,
They
hold on,
took
hold on,
that
hold on.
and put that in the
Hold
Bible.
on. No. It predates when the Bible was written, but it does not predate the prophecies in the scripture.
No,
The
right.
prophecies
They were
in the
translated.
scripture mention Haru. So how could it be like it's taking from? The Bible talks about that plus everything else. How can it be like taking from? Like, nah, if anything, it's just its own entity by itself that talks about every culture on the earth and talks about from the beginning to the end.
But
Like,
somebody decided what cultures of the earth they gonna highlight in this. In
yeah,
this
the
book.
Most High.
But no.
I don't agree with
Yeah,
that
like,
either.
I mean, that's cool. It's cool.
Because
Like,
there's people and stuff that are not privy to. Like, for
I know,
example,
that's-
say
that's
That's
that
why
we're
you had
that's
different
why we're-
writers. You had different writers.
Nah, predate writing. Before there was
Yeah.
writing,
And
there
who
was.
said that an A was an A?
That's what I'm saying. You
yeah,
have to
but see,
predate. The
that's
Gutenberg Bible was
why,
the first.
son. That's why it's look. That's why the covenant in Jeremiah for us, the seeds that wake up. We don't need no book. We don't need
Right.
nothing. It's inside of us. He wrote
Correct.
the laws, statutes, commandments on the tablet of your heart. So
So
that's
let me
I
ask
mean.
you
So
this.
that's
What
why
about
you
the-
feel so strongly about not having the. You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to read a book?
That's
know
why
what
you
I'm saying?
always
Because
want the desire to get to heaven because it's written in your heart. Like everybody
But you know
wants
for
to
a
get
fact,
somewhere higher.
You know for a fact that what you seeing on this earth ain't. It's not. It's all. It's all fugazi. You know it is. So there has to be something, son. Something.
I understand.
And it's not. And it's not like individual situation because Kimmy can't tell me about my situation. Egyptologists can't tell me about my situation. Anything can't tell me about the Negro. They can't tell me about the Negro.
Why
they
you
can
feel
tell
like
me.
that, though?
They can tell me about Africa. They can tell me about.
They can give me
They
facts.
can give me the
See,
sand.
them
They,
Negroes,
hold
though.
on, hold on. They can give me the. They can give me the niggas from the samurais. They can give me the Asiatic black man. They can give me all the origins.
Tribes,
Right.
if you will.
Yeah, the
Sure.
origin. But they can't tell me where the nigga come from.
Do you know why?
Yeah, I know why.
Why is that?
Because they serve a different God. And the information they have is one-sided. That's why.
I want to
Yeah.
say that it's because it predates the
Nah,
time
not at
of
all.
written. Yes, because there was a time where the only way that people could get the historical information from their ancestors or the people that came before them was by word of mouth.
Yeah,
Is by them telling.
Yes.
So you have to understand that stuff didn't come into writing and pictures and history and documentation till way later.
Nah, I
So
understand it.
we're constantly
Hebrew.
trying to find, as far back as we can, go to, but you can't necessarily say like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna believe this because it's the prophecies. When I mean, I understand, like I said, I understand it and I believe in it to a certain extent to what you're saying, but it's when you apply the fact that you assume that time is linear, and I don't know how else to explain that to you, but other than there's a way that the time is set up for us to believe, and then there's the way that it
Yeah, I don't
actually
follow
really
that
is.
time. I don't follow this clock. I don't follow that calendar. I understand that.
I don't
Okay.
even say believe because if you believe something, that means you don't know.
I mean,
Yep.
What you mean by that?
I would say that.
I mean, no. To
it's
believe,
lie in the middle.
but to lie to Eve's children. That's what that means. Be like Eve. So, if you believe something, you don't know.
right.
it's just-
You're going by someone else's account.
Well,
which-
not even that. It's just
Okay.
something you just don't know. That's all. You
So
just
if
don't
you
know.
in-
The
Innately
English
tap
language
in.
the English language is backwards. Everything is like, you know what I'm saying? So, what is, isn't. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
My question be
because
to
it's
you, be
spelling
like,
and it's all magic.
what about the
Spell it,
people
no, you damn
who
right.
were not part of the transatlantic slave trade, the colonies that were so maybe obscure that people were not able to penetrate and get information and write about it, document it, and put it out there. There's entities of people who are not exposed to Christianity, religion, Bibles. All they know is what their ancestors and
Exactly.
ancestors had told them orally.
Yeah.
And they live off the land, they do what they conduct their lives completely
Correct.
free of everything that's going on in the world.
That's what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
but
So-
that's not us though.
So
But that's where we come
How?
from. though.
Because they still exist. If they didn't exist, then I would say that those people transformed to us. But what are you talking about?
They didn't transform, but we were related. Just because you from Texas and you moved to Louisiana, I mean, that don't mean we ain't family.
Yeah, I mean, we're related as in, like, we know each other. But my thing is that African didn't sell African for sugar cane. That's not how it happened. Africans sold a whole different type of a whole different race of people. They weren't African at all. So that's the whole situation. So it's not that.
You mean within the tribes?
No.
Like tribal
I mean, slaves were sold by Africans. They were not African. They were migrants to Africa.
Exactly.
They came out of Africa. We are not Africans.
The Negro is not an African.
The American Negro is not an African.
At all.
Why do you think most Africans do not care for us? If you check out their demeanor towards us, they say all the time we're not their brothers.
We were
not Africans. We were migrants into Africa.
We get help by Africans.
That's why they say don't come back.
That's something to look at.
We were migrants into Africa. We're different.
They
from Islam, or I mean, from you're saying from.
We are from.
The Negro migrated from the Atlas Mountains. We're from Jerusalem.
Yep.
I've heard this before.
See, and I don't.
I've heard this before.
That's not something I know. But the only reason you choose that standpoint right there is because you don't know. If you took
it don't make sense for them to sell each other.
Go in on it.
No. You know what? Migrants. That's me. I was talking about my Palestinian homeboy. That's what he was talking about.
Jerusalem was invaded.
See how I brought it all together though? I mean, everything.
Africans were like, well, who are you guys? No. Guess what? We got somewhere you guys can go. Get on these boats, and we'll send you somewhere else. We're migrants from. We're not Africans.
Well, son, we ran into the Atlas Mountains fleeing. When Christ was like, when you see armies building up around you, fleeing to the mountains, we fled. When Rome started building up around, before they came in 70 AD, niggas listened. And niggas ended up on the other side of the Atlas Mountains. And when they found us, and the whole thing is that was just the part of the kingdom. The kingdom was split into two. The other tribes, and you can read this, and this shit is documented by them niggas. Go into Cambridge Library, get Christopher Columbus's memoirs, and it says that this nigga got paid by the Isabella and King, the king and queen. He got finance from them because he knew
the Spanish financed it.
Yeah, so he knew where the 10 tribes were. That's
the Negro knew.
Hold on.
The Negro knew.
Well,
the one that was on the boat.
Telling them where to go.
He knew.
Yeah, this is what he said in the memoirs. He said that he got the money from them because he said that he knew. He got the word from Esdras. Nigga, Esdras is a prophet from the Bible. Yeah. So when you go into that, you find all you got to do is go into Rome. The Roman Catholic Church, the reason niggas started exploring, it wasn't because they were happily trying to find some land. Nah, Roman Catholic law put out a land. Roman Catholic Church put out a law that said if you find anybody dark-skinned and they worship on the Sabbath, you can kill them and take their land, son.
Sure can.
They wasn't looking for Africans. Africans was in the bed sleeping, getting money with them. They were in cahoots only against us because we were the chosen through Abraham.
Yes.
That's just truth. That's the only reason the prophecy fits George Floyd's situation when it says Esau, Jacob's trouble. Esau has his foot in Jacob's neck. Yeah, that was the perfect example. That was prophecy right before our eyes. That's what our people need to know. Our people need to know that our God is in the scripture, and that we were taught by slave masters and people who were afraid of the slave masters, so they did what the slave masters wanted them to do and fed us bullshit, son. All the churches, all that shit bullshit, son. They get paid. They get. That's why they don't pay no taxes, nigga.
Lead the flock.
If they were with the Most High, they pay taxes. You do Caesar what's due to Caesar, son. They don't do that.
I still believe we African.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's not Africans in here and there's not African of blood. I'm sure there was intermingling.
There was raising.
I'm just letting you know.
No. And then this is another thing that I've learned. Just because you say what you understand, you're right about, because that's your understanding.
Yeah.
What you understand, you're right about.
Oh yeah.
So we just gotta respect the individuality.
Right.
Facts. Because it ain't no. It ain't.
I feel like there's questions and mysteries and things that we're not going to know, but we spend our lives collectively, I guess, kind of trying to find the closest that we can be righteous, the closest we can live to what we consider to be righteous. However, there's always going to be a difference because everyone is at a different place in their walk. They're going to be a different place in their understanding. And everybody might essentially believe the same thing, but still be on the same path and not know it because it's based on your understanding. You know, I kind of feel like if we focused on the stuff that predates everything that you're talking about, you know what I mean?
Right.
When I say predates, I'm talking about remains. I'm talking about Antarctica, frozen things that, you know, predates the time even the Bible was written. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, let me say this. In respect to that. Hebrew, the only reason the Bible is in English is because Romans came in, took us captive, found out who he was, you see what I'm saying? And
Right,
and translated.
Change the narrative to make the...
Okay, so Hebrew language is not words. It doesn't have any letters. It doesn't have anything. It's all symbols, meaning that it was never spoke. It was all mental.
Okay.
Okay, the only reason we speak it is because we're the ones that we're the seeds of the ones that broke the law. We were taught by slave master. We weren't taught by the Most High. Our ancestors, though, were taught by the Most High. That's why the communication was nonverbal.
Which is why it's hard for me to buy into the middleman when I know that they're giving me something the ancestors watered down from the ancestors. And I'm not saying that it's not accurate to a certain extent, because like I said, they pull from certain stuff that could be a commonality. But then again, this is also the same book that okays slavery, okays women being property, okays messing with kids. Like it's a lot of stuff in the Bible.
It doesn't okay it. It talks about it.
Hold on, son.
People verify. I mean, people say
it talks about it.
I don't care what people say.
They don't okay.
I don't care what people say.
I said that to say people validate what they choose in their life using the Bible, period. If you want to verify something in your own way.
But if you're going to choose it, choose the whole thing. Don't just choose the part you like.
And that's my point. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm literally saying.
But that's what the ignorant church, like that's like the scriptures say, his people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. That's what they do. That's not what the Bible says. Like a person can jump like the gay people say the Bible should have us we should have our rights, right? Okay, but they took the promise, they took our promise, and made it a logo for them, and they fucking with each other. Now what I'm saying is that without that knowledge, the kids is just running around thinking it's cool. But if they knew that the rainbow in the sky was a promise to them, and they looked over there and said, well, why are they using it? Then maybe the action would be different. Maybe the thought process would be different. Maybe it would be like, okay, well, I don't want to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to really do something right. Like I'm saying, it's not for everybody, mama. It's only for the ones that hear it and see it. That's it, and it's a few. Yep. Everybody else gonna do what they want to do. Just like when the boy was like, "Yo, it's about to rain," and nobody listened.
Moses?
No.
No,
Oh, I
you know
thought
what
you
I'm
was
saying?
going the Moses route.
Nah, I ain't going no
I thought you were saying
I'm just saying.
I mean, some people eyes just will never be open to certain things. Like you can literally you can literally walk around a room of a club and it could be somebody you know really well in that club, but you overlook them because your eyes haven't been open to actually seeing them. So everybody ain't gonna get it.
Just like what you said, it's not about me being right or y'all being right or anything. It's just everything is what it is, and it'll play out.
Together.
It'll
It's gonna
play
come
out.
together.
But I do know one thing: the outpour of people understanding them scriptures is at an all-time high. The people seeking, trying to get in them words, the people coming up out of them churches, people coming to like wanting to know the reality. Like no longer will I let a man tell me what the Bible say. I'm gonna read
the Bible myself.
And I'm with my knowledge, with my prayer, with my spirit, with my good heart and everything. I'm gonna read it and see what it says.
That's what's happening. People cannot congregate into their shelters. So
Yeah.
they can tell us what they want us to perceive as the Bible. People are reading the Bible themselves now.
And then all of a sudden we can't congregate.
But what
You know
y'all
what
think
I'm saying?
about Christianity, which
I think
I'm
Christianity
saying
is
focuses
false
on
religion.
focus
All
on
those are false
But it's the youngest religion of
Facts.
all of them.
I mean,
And
it's
that's
Talking
what
about the meeting of Versailles,
not Nicaea. I mean the
Nicaea.
Nicaea,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Council of Nicaea.
Council of Nicaea.
So yeah, I mean, they think the same thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, but Christians are not what I'm talking about. The original Christian was dark colored, and he worshiped on the Sabbath.
Yep.
Right, but
But see-
the concerning part should be how they were able to take that idea
Because
and change
we
it to what it is
disobeyed.
and have so many people believe
Yeah.
it.
Because
That's
we-
the problem. That's where the issue lay.
No, because it's the living God, son. It's the spirit. Like, it's the most powerful thing they talk. What they're talking about and what they're using is what makes the trees grow. Like,
Right.
so it's, of course it's gonna be big, but the greatest trick that was ever told was making us feel like we ain't had no part in it.
Right.
That
Mhm.
was the
That
whole.
was the
that was-
whole
That was,
situation.
yes, that was the whole
Greeks,
breakdown of
the
And we in there the
Greeks
whole
tried,
time.
out of
the
whole
Greeks tried it
equation.
first. Yeah, they
Yeah,
tried
they
it
kicked us out of
first.
the equation.
They tried it first, but then they didn't succeed. Then Rome succeeded. Not only did they wipe away our history, but they whitewashed the whole world.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And it's big because us being those people makes the Jews that claim they are not
Not
those
the-
people.
So who
Yeah.
are the Jews for real?
The Negro.
The Jews
Of
are
the
the
earth.
Negro,
You're
and,
a Jew.
Of the
they're the
earth.
ones that run Hollywood. They're the ones that run.
Oh, you talking about who are the Jewish people?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
If they
Jewish
not
people.
that, then what are the Jews?
Oh, that's the synagogue of Satan.
Okay.
That's revelation. Christ said that himself. That's not opinion.
Why I low key knew that you was gonna say that for some reason.
Because it's written in your heart. You-
I mean, I was raised in, I don't want people to think I'm just a, whole atheist. Like,
we all,
I was
yeah.
raised in the church, which
all
gives me
was.
but I've also lived my life, and I've also been to other countries, and I've seen the worst of people and the best of people, and based on that is where I take my path of righteousness, I guess to say, because going to church every Sunday or believing and reading the Bible doesn't do anything.
You gotta read
if you're not-
it.
Yeah, but you
gonna
gotta
see
read
the
it like
best
you
and
like
the
it.
worst of
You're
people
not
in
gonna-
there.
You gotta drink like you like it.
I'm saying if you're not gonna live it, it don't matter how. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
Yeah,
yes,
but you
you
can't
are.
live it
How
if
you
you
gonna-
don't find yourself in it. Like if you're not attached to it. Like
Right.
like if
That makes more
if my
sense.
auntie ain't in that joint, why? That
makes
can't
more
be
sense.
for me.
That's why I never liked
You
it.
see what I'm saying?
I
But
never-
once you realize that, oh snap, when it's saying Deuteronomy, I will bring you into Egypt again, and this time by ships. Who was brought into Egypt? Egypt not like the place. That never happened in history at all.
Right.
But what did happen is people got brought into captivity again, and this time by ships. Son, that scripture, that one little scripture alone should let us know that that's us. And the only reason we in our condition is because we serve another God.
So you think history repeats itself?
What do you mean?
I'm asking you, do
There's
you
nothing
think?
new under the sun.
Okay, if there's nothing new under the sun, right? I'm
Alright.
just saying, take that into
Let's
consideration.
go.
It's itself
Let's
until you
go.
wake up.
Let's go.
and
If there's
understand
not-
what is just happening.
Huh?
As long as we walk, it only repeats itself until we are found to be woke.
So you're saying it repeats itself as a way of kind of as not a punishment, but in a way a punishment for us not being awoke and not being able to catch it's like fucking Groundhog Day.
Hold on, what do you mean? Like, I'm sorry. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, he's saying the same thing.
Yes.
Like, if there's
I'm trying
nothing
to
new
figure
under
out
the
what you
sun
mean.
and things that means we're to basically everything that's happened has already happened
It's going to continue to happen.
and it's going to continue to happen
In
in
a
a
form.
circular
Correct.
form, assuming that you imagine that time is like again linear.
Not you though. You don't circular and try again.
Yes.
It's just a situation where it's
Work.
from A to Z.
Yeah.
So what about the people that, like the little boy James? You heard about that story?
Go ahead,
The
tell me.
5-year-old little boy,
The white boy.
the white boy that was drawing the pictures.
Yeah,
we
and he
watched
was,
that
and
shit.
he was trying to say that.
Didn't he do it?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so
This is what I'm saying.
So what? So no. I don't know the story y'all talking about. I don't know the story y'all talking about.
Oh, tell
Okay.
Boris, he don't know.
Okay, let me know.
So it was a little boy, and he was like drawing these pictures, and all the pictures that he drew were like a war scene. And his parents were like, "Damn, like why are you drawing this stuff?" And he was like, "Cause that's me. I died there." And they were like kind of ignoring him a little bit, but then he kept doing it, and so they took into consideration what he was saying. And he was basically, I'm just speeding it up. He was like, "If you don't believe me, go see
Go
this
to the
person,
spot.
and this is my sister." So they went and met the old lady, And the old lady was like, if you my brother James, what did our parents have of us? And he said they had a picture painted of both of us together. And she started crying. And she was like, ain't no way he would have known that.
So
And
have you ever read a story like that in the Bible?
no.
It's in there. You just gotta find it. Everything that's in there. Like these people babbling and going on about stuff and trying to interpret them, not knowing what they're saying. This and that. Like there's a lot of people doing that.
No, that's one thing.
Some people had demons on them when they was doing it.
So this dude went to. They told him to go. You know, he said, "Go over here. This is where I died at." And they went over there and they basically buried him. And then after they did that, he released out the little boy, and the little boy got to live his regular life. This shit documented. It's on 2020.
What released out of him?
The spirit
The spirit
of James.
That's
See,
in the
that's the
Bible.
thing. That's the thing. It's not the spirit of James. Nigga, James died a long time ago.
Yeah.
His body died.
Yeah, but it's not James. The only thing that reoccurs is the demon, that whose punishment is to
Attached.
once that host die, he gotta find another host, and he gotta lay in that host and make him serve the fathers that's chained up, the gods that came to the earth and taught mankind, the one that
I got
that they serve.
a different. I can understand why you say that, but my version of that is those people were of another planet in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? They were from somewhere else. And just like when
Why do we just talk? We literally just said that this morning. I literally, what you just said to him, I for word verbatim damn near said to him.
Yeah, but see what you got, peep game though. You right. And
Tell him what
that's
you
the
told
thing.
me.
It's just the understanding, like it's just the understanding, like the realm, son. The realm. First of all, since you said planet, think planet as like
Realm.
God, like realm, like God, like entity, like force, like power, principality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Energy. All right. So it's not a place. Like it's an actual.
which one not?
None of them.
Realms.
Like the
he's saying.
planets, they're not
Okay.
places. They're
Where
not
you can't
places
go.
that you go to. They're actual entities
Foresight.
that are in charge, that have dominion over certain things. And if you pray to them, they can give you certain situations. And the reason they can give it to you is because they're alive.
Yeah.
But they're not up. They're not like how we learned them in school. You feel what I'm saying? These realms, like how like the Sirius, the galaxy, right?
Okay, so wait, the Dogons.
I'm just saying, if you bring, it's the thing, but
But the
it's
Dogon
not.
tribe are the people who discovered Sirius.
Yeah, but it's not that they discovered it, son. It's just that they have that information, and they the only ones that serve that step.
But the only because they were
Why
able
they
to
got
see
the
it.
information? Right.
They were able to
Yeah,
see it.
because that God can see. This one, I mean, like the gods that all the other culture serves were real entities that came to the earth and dealt with these people. They
Right.
gave them everything. They taught them how to build. They taught them how to live. They
Right.
taught them how to dress themselves. All that shit. So people serve those gods,
Right.
but those entities aren't. They're not.
Of
What?
this realm?
Huh?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, one, they're not of this realm. And the demon that his punishment is he can't do nothing else except for roam the earth looking for
But you have to be.
This is Enoch. This is not from the standpoint of like angels and demons on
Okay,
on,
so
on,
talk
on-
Enoch. Talk Enoch, right?
This is Enoch.
So
I feel
Enoch.
like deja vu right now.
Enoch was the first person to go to
The
I talked
Testament.
to him earlier about
to
this.
heaven,
Crazy.
body and soul, right?
He was the first. He was the first
To go
I
up.
can't say body, but
That's because they. Okay,
I can't say body.
that's what they said in the
Like you transcend.
in your Bible.
transcended.
In your Bible, that's what it said. He was
No,
the
it don't
first-
say body.
Shit.
It don't.
He went up. It said
It say
body
he
and
was
soul.
taken.
He
It
said he
don't
was
say
taken.
body and
Okay,
soul.
he
Say
was
body.
taken. So then he came back down and told them whatever he had to tell them, and then he went back. Right? If we just forget the religious part, forget the spirituality, forget all that, what does it sound like? There you go.
You said-
an alien abduction.
Oh yeah,
So
that's what we
that's what I'm saying. The
So
people,
that's what some people gonna see it as.
Yeah,
but
but-
I'm saying, us, to me, our lineage, that's where we come from. Those people. when they on the I know y'all don't like to talk about it, but on the Egypt on the walls, those are the people that they drew.
Hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics.
We literally talked about this earlier.
The hieroglyphics, some of them were even green.
Yep.
And you got people now that's dark skinned, but they fucking green. You know what I'm saying? And then like the Dogon tribe are the only tribe of black people that don't fuck with the sun. And it's for centuries. You know what I'm saying? And every so often of years, they make these masks. And with these masks, they are paying homage to the people who came down to give them this knowledge. They are the only people who can see that shit. Like, and the reason why they can see it is because their eyes have never adjusted to daylight. So that's why they discovered Sirius 1 and 2, shit like that. And the scientists came out there where they were at and was like, how can y'all see that?
But that's the old Dogons.
That's the new one, the same one.
Because the babies, you can look on YouTube and see the babies running around in the daytime on the video.
I don't know that's the same.
Like, this is real. I used to sit in the when I had my hair. I used to sit in Greens Point Mall. I used to sit in the African lady in the back and get twisted up. She used to tell me about it because she was from Ghana.
But see, then this is some recent shit too. They have a warehouse about the size of the studio with all of the masks from centuries ago, from ages ago. Yeah. So how you explain that though?
Yeah. Listen to what I said.
I know. I heard.
Yeah, because
they can't see it.
No. What I'm saying is that the ancient, what you just said is they had masks from long ago. That means the people who wore the mask they killed. If they have access to that mask, they got the mask, and people are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
that's what I'm talking about. So
I'm
the
saying,
current people.
But how does that? Just like we were talking about earlier. How does that disposition change?
That tied with what you mean the disposition?
How does that change? Like we were talking about the African shit. Like what makes you? How does that make you not African? How does that make them not still have the same traits if they from the same tribe? Through generational creation, you're gonna keep the same traits. Yeah, just like we talk about the pit bull.
I'm not saying that's not true. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that it's fact that the kids are running around outside. So without no mask on.
So maybe, okay, I forgot to say that. So when they doing this celebration, the people coming back down to holler at them.
Yeah,
maybe they giving them new information. And I personally gotta respect the ritual because, like I said, when I was delirious from not sleeping after 3 days, and then I was able to talk to God. You know what I'm saying? And see a lot of stuff that's happening. It's like it's happening before my eyes. So I gotta understand where that shit came from because it happens to me. It's still happening to me. We just had an instance earlier. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's about fine tuning your body, and I think them putting this shit like the artificial shit blocks those things, blocks the calcification. Yeah. So that's why I say I don't want to eat, because when you don't eat, your body stays pure, and you're able to channel those things. If not, you won't. So then we won't ever understand that.
And speaking of, what other products? I do want to tap into the bioafrica.com. I do want to talk about your website a little bit and tell people how they can order some of these amazing things that can help get them back healthy. Because we are running, we have ran, well, yeah.
Right. Hey, this
go keep everybody
politicking.
Yeah,
so,
we build it.
The website is still being built, and the reason why is because I keep telling he's my general manager of the company. I keep telling him different things to add on, take off, and he's giving me ideas. And the plan is to make the website more of a community thing. You know, like we would have, click on this to take you to Love the Jam Radio to check this out. Right. So we're just going to make it a community out of everything. Okay. So as of right now, we created a Facebook store, and you can go and check that stuff out. Definitely. But really, if you can order with me or one of the representatives to avoid the taxes and fees, and you get your order the next, you know how I roll the next day. Or if you from out of town, because I got a lot of out-of-state people.
That you mail to.
Yeah. Just give me some information, and we exchange information. But the thing about shipping is, the shipping is $25. Mm-hmm. And the reason it's $25 is because I express, you know what I'm saying? I express everything to people because this ain't something you're trying to enjoy. This is something that you need for your body. So we try to hurry and get it to you as fast as possible.
The body definitely needs it. I know I need mine. I ain't get mine today, and I'm over here drinking tequila like nobody's
Right.
business.
So-
And I feel okay about it.
Yeah, be patient with yourself.
Usually I feel guilty.
Be patient. Like I told you, when I was training myself with this right here, and I knew I didn't want to eat certain things, like chicken, I went and bought like a 5-piece chicken and just sat it in the car with me and rode to the house with it just so I could smell it.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
And just to get that last little whiff.
Just to smell it, and then I take it home and I
Amen.
let them eat it. But
Right.
you gotta be patient with yourself. If you on the path to stop eating bad and to heal yourself, and then you doing good, and then you like, man, I got a craving. I want a hamburger. Have the hamburger because it's gonna make you feel like shit,
Right.
and then you're gonna be like, I don't want to feel like that.
Exactly.
So don't not do it and fall off the wagon. Most people do that and they fall off the wagon and then they, oh well, I'm back to
Yeah,
my
I tried
habit.
it. Looking
Yeah.
ass. Right.
Right.
Well, it's information out there, y'all, and you can definitely reach out to Mr. Blackwood on the Bio Africa page at bio_Africa on Instagram. Bio Africa, the page is on Facebook, and you can see the different sea mosses. I got soursop, strawberry mixes, and other tinctures and other things that you can take. Capsules,
Facial
herbs,
cream.
teas. Oh my God, I love the facial cream.
I mean,
used
not
to do
facial
the-
cream,
I mean, not
serum.
the cream, but the yeah, it's green. It's like reminds me of guac. Kinda feels really good on your face. Nipsey is a fan of it. I try to do it at night, but that little motherfucker got to my chin and he was like fucking it up, and I was
Right.
like, "Hold on, player, hold on."
And that's the point. That's the point
This is
because
supposed to for my face.
some people, it's no chemicals in it.
Right.
But
Nipsey's my
everything
puppy,
is.
by
I
the
know.
way. Oh,
I know.
okay.
I seen him. So nothing is
Gonna
nothing
kill
is,
him, right?
Right.
But still
Everything
don't
is
want him to
edible,
eat my
but
face
it
mask.
could be gross.
Right.
We have like I said, brain and nerve support. That's one of the main things, like it fights autism and stuff like that. I got somebody whose kid was autistic and didn't want to talk to nobody. You know how some
Yeah.
autistic kids are, and start giving them the brain and nerve support, and he's social.
It changes.
You know what I'm saying? It changes a lot.
So y'all definitely, don't lean so much on everything over the counter being processed and the big pharmaceuticals, because we have the answers right here within our community. You can buy black, you can support, you can find out. And I appreciate you for coming. You know how important this is for me,
Right.
especially since you got stuff going on. But the fact that you made time to come out here and chop it up, and I thank Trust for being in the building as well.
Yeah.
These kind of conversations need to happen, and they need to happen more
Yeah.
often. It's a whole lot of king shit going on, y'all. I don't know.
Okay,
you know
so
what
we ain't
I'm
gonna say
saying?
that because that's a European thing.
Okay, I digress.
We have pharaohs.
There's a whole lot of pharaoh shit happening in here today.
Appreciate
There's a
that.
whole lot of pharaoh shit happening in here today. But ultimately, we're all, black people.
Right.
And
Right.
we should build with each other and look out for each other and respect each other's differences and take what you can and get closer to who you are and live your truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm Miss Lovey, queen of all things indie. This has been a more serious episode of Jammitorcrammit Thursdays. We are going to take a couple seconds after I get off to play the new music from them boys from the Six. They did Damon send me 2 songs before he passed, and I do want to play those. Again, shout out to AO, the famous, the family of Mr. D. Rhymes, Rubenstein, them Jews with them shoes. Y'all, eatingclothing.com, I'm a little fucked up, I'm sorry. Eatingclothing.com if you want to get shirts and stuff like that. Boris, did you have anything?
Nah, just just keep them in your prayers. I know, eating is a big movement. We support them, Little Jam. They supported us. I mean, not too long ago, within the last month, D. Rhymes had posted on his Facebook saying I was one of his favorite comedians.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, they touch so many different people, and it's like, I don't know, it's gonna be different, but it's, we're gonna push through, and we're gonna still support them here at Little Jam. We doing it because we love them. We ain't doing it just because, everybody's talking about them. Like, we've been playing their stuff, and we're going to continue playing their stuff.
Yeah, Stuck in Traffic is probably one of my favorite songs.
Yep.
Man,
Stuck in Traffic.
man, I met them.
Gotta
I
see it
met them
live.
dudes, man. We were judging a competition together.
Oh, okay.
Right before the
COVID
shit,
hit,
man.
yeah.
Damn, man. Them dudes, man, they
Larger than life.
man, they showed so much love, man. They was
Yeah.
giving so much game, and they was like, man, you want an app? get you an app.
Yeah.
You want your man? Look, we got our clothes and
We motherfucking moguls.
Right.
That's what that nigga Gary be like.
Yep.
That's my boy, man.
Yeah.
They
So-
kept their word too. Like anytime they said they were gonna pull up somewhere,
Niggas was
hey,
there.
I might not be long. I got another event. They
But I'ma
pulled
come
up.
through,
Like,
right?
Yep.
I can't say that they missed any of our events, really. You know what I'm saying? But y'all take the time, like I said, spend time on yourself, work on yourself, tune into yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get as close to that truth as you can, man. You let the universe guide you, let the creator guide you, let God guide you, let whatever you believe.
You had it right the third time.
God
Get
is
off
love.
my phone in here.
God
You
is
be
love.
set tripping looking ass. So keep it locked in, y'all. We got the best indie and the best jams right here. We got new music coming up. I'll be, like I said, from it's called Open Door and I'm on Go. Those are the two songs from them boys from the Six. So y'all, we can close the show with that. I'm Miss Lovey, Let It Jam Radio. Shout out to everybody that came through. And we'll catch you motherfuckers on Tuesday for Tomorrow Today show. Peace out.